My name's Sam and I have 2 children. My friend Ruth had already been on the course herself, and then she loved it so much she decided she was going to be like a facilitator stroke trainer, the person who was going to run it.
Before I did the course as a parent, and I really found it inspired me. It sort of brought me back to what's important about being a parent. I personally think it's the most important job that anyone could have.
On the course, I think there's 8 of us, and the atmosphere is very relaxed and friendly, even though none of us knew each other. The course entailed quite a few different ways of, I guess, learning or teaching, whichever way you look at it. So a bit of fun to start with, and then we'd use these books. They work, they're really good, so we have a little read of the book, or might have read it before we got there, and then discuss certain things in the book and how we felt about it between maybe 2 people at a time. We'd say if we've got any examples to the group.
Before the course, I would have been like, no, just tidy up, and I'm very routine with my 3 children, but this course has taught me just to look at, I don't know, show more emotion and empathy, and look at their little faces, the excitement that they really want to do something, and I was like, yeah, we'll do that. So yeah, it was really nice actually, and I enjoyed it. Yeah. So instead of me whinging, going, no, why don't you listen? Yeah, I haven't got time. She loved it.
Good. That's great. That's lovely.
And sometimes we'd all suggest things. If someone is having a particular trouble, we'd say, oh, we've tried this or we've tried that, which was lovely because you feel like you'd go away with something you could try on your own children or your own family. It feels like when things are tough, you've got something to draw on.
So it'd be interesting to find out why they were doing it and then explaining that you don't do it, as opposed to just blanket punishing or, correcting.
Towards the end, we always had just, I think it was 1 or 2 minutes where we'd sit and close our eyes and just be peaceful, and Ruth, the course leader, would read us something to just make us think for the next week ahead, and gave you a bit more power as you went away to think, oh, this is good, I can do this, I feel strong.
To reject this image of the perfect parent, then, I want to tear a scrap off this page of a magazine that carries the glossy image of parenthood. As it passes around, you can tear off a scrap and hold it.
Attending the course has made me think I need to be a little bit more patient, because as well as having my children, I work pretty much full time to run my own company, and I'm a bit of a stickler for everything having to be perfect, and I run to a timetable, and I've sort of let that go a bit, and I think it's made me healthier. I sleep better, I haven't been as poorly, my house is much messier, which sometimes really gets to me, but most of the time I think ability, and it gives you the permission to do things maybe in a different way that you wouldn't have thought to do it.
I'm Catherine Rose, a parenting facilitator. I did a course myself as a parent. There's so many good tips, like limited choices, it's one of my personal favourites, and using the I word and the I message, that's really important. And also they get support from each other, they pick up ideas from each other, and it's good fun, and it's a fascinating subject. I could talk about parenting all day, like all the mums could.
I joined the parenting course because I wanted to know a little bit more how to handle and help my children in a positive way, really.
My son especially, he was 3, we hadn't had the terrible 2s, but he was becoming quite challenging at the time, and it was about trying to find new ways in which to develop our relationship, but also think about how best I could nurture him as an individual.
It was really helpful, and it really helped me to manage my children and be a bit more positive in my parenting.
In terms of getting things out of the course, it was really a huge benefit to the relationship that I have with my children. A quick example would be listening to them.
Our Mothers Union decided to offer the training to its members and non-members. They're passionate about parenting. It's all about building relationships with parents, and it gives us such a lot of tips to decide what type of material to use within the group, to be able to choose and adapt all those resources that are out there already. In those manuals, they all cover basically the same things: boundaries, talking to your child, listening to your child, encouraging your child, quality play, all of those things, and they're all just touched on. Each publisher has just taken it a slightly different way.
But actually just ignoring the bad behaviour and looking at the positive behaviour, I think, is something that's been really good.
You don't have to change, but you can think about how you're doing something, and just think back to perhaps how you were parented, and perhaps that's just something you're doing because your parents did it to you or it happened, and it's just nice to have time to sort of reflect and think, well, why you're doing certain things, and if it's something that you really want to do, or whether you could perhaps change it in a different way, because life changes.
Being able to go to a group where you can talk about your experiences and pick up ideas that you can actually try out. Some won't work, some work brilliantly, some that you will use way down the line, years down the line. It is really beneficial to do the course.
It gives you some ideas of how to make things just calmer, more friendly. I just think it's brilliant. I've been really spurred on what I've learned. I just love sharing it with my friends because it just makes these children so much happier, and hopefully they'll grow into more rounded children. And it's thanks to the course really that I know my children will develop slightly differently to how they might have done otherwise.
If parents discover something new on the course, that's going to be only a small portion of what they do. It's really a chance to think about things when you're not in the situation and to reflect on it and allow you to prepare for the next situation.
Most parents anyway want to do the best for their child, and I think by coming on a parenting group and getting that affirmation is just helpful and sort of satisfying for them, as well as having good fun, good cake and coffee, and just a good chance to make new friends.
Just wanted to say, this course has given me so much confidence. Now I'm going to cry. And it's really good to have such a nice set of people, and it's taught me emotions, guilt, pleasure. It's just a mix of emotions during this course. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, sweetheart. Thank you very much.